Crawford, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford's his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels. And we'll see how this thing plays out in the next couple of years.
Dana White is leaving zero doubt about where he stands in the war between Terence Crawford and the boxing establishment. He's been loud, direct, and unapologetic, shutting down the rumors that Crawford's refusal to pay a $300,000 sanctioning fee was some scripted move orchestrated by the UFC. Dana made it clear that Crawford is acting on his own, and that this rebellion is 100% real. This isn't just a fight over a belt. It's an open indictment of the entire boxing system.
And guess what? It's free! It's free! How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder, how much your belt cost? Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish.
And Dana White is making sure everyone understands that the checkmate is genuine. After defeating Canelo, Crawford refused to pay the WBC's $300,000, realizing he was being asked to rent his own legacy rather than own it. The WBC retaliated by stripping him of the title, creating a bizarre situation where the official champion is no longer the actual best fighter on the planet. Crawford fired back with a venomous Instagram rant, telling President Mauricio Suleiman to keep the belt, and calling the title nothing more than a trophy. He humiliated the organization further by pointing out,
I hope y'all get that done, man. I hope y'all get that done so we can all see, you know, people face like this guy, you know, go away from boxing because they ruin the sport with all these antics that they do. You know, they got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. You know, they don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me, pop me. Even though I wasn't, you know, coming back down the weight, but, you know, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo for the Benavidez. He was what, mandatory for like 2 years? It's crazy. But, you know, that's that favoritism shit.
While the boxing establishment scrambled for damage control, Dana White walked into the UFC 323 post-fight press conference looking like the cat who got the cream. On December 6th, the media immediately pressed him about the situation. Rumors have been swirling for days that Dana White and his partners at TKO were secretly encouraging Crawford to rebel.
Boxing starting to fall apart. You know, once there was so much money involved and it got so big, guys started ducking other guys. Then you got the sanctioning bodies in there. We think this guy's the champ. We think this guy's the champ. And then none of those guys would fight each other. That's when it all started to fall apart and break.
Using him to destabilize boxing from the inside, Dana didn't hide from the conversation, but he cleared up one detail with absolute certainty. He stated firmly, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford is his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels. But listen between the lines, Dana wasn't criticizing Crawford for breaking tradition. He was defending him. He framed Crawford's outburst not as a mistake, but as a moment of truth. Dana has been saying for years that the boxing model is broken, and now the top boxer in the world is proving him right on the biggest stage possible. His smile said more than the quote. The UFC...
What did you think of the WBC stripping Terence Crawford of his belt?
Listen, if you look at how this thing's playing out, and first of all, let me say this. I love that all these guys, all these boxing guys, love the Ali Act the way it is now. I want to see how many of them actually stay there and do that version of the Ali Act instead of the add-on that we're going to do. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to see what's going on with all these guys. They're all these guys that are crying the loudest are the fucking problems. They're the problem, every one of these guys. And, you know, Crawford, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford's his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels. And we'll see how this thing plays out in the next couple of years.
Are you surprised by this frosty reception from the other boxing promoters?
No, not at all. Not at all. But here's the thing that's great for fighters is that
is where things get deeper, even a bit conspiratorial. During that same press conference, Dana dropped a cryptic comment about the Ali Act, the federal law meant to protect boxers from abusive promoters. Dana lashed out at the current generation of boxing promoters, calling them hypocrites. He said, "I love that all these boxing guys love the Ali Act the way it is now. I guarantee you
they have options, you know? All these promoters are saying the Ali Act is perfect and this is the way it should be. I want to see them all stay in it. I want every one of them to stay in the Ali Act as it is now for the next however many years. Right. I fucking guarantee you they won't."
What does that mean? Dana is implying that the same people preaching about fighter rights are the ones draining fighters financially through fees, commissions, and sanctioning cost. He's painting boxing not as a protector of athletes, but as a parasitic system. By supporting Crawford's refusal to pay, Dana is exposing a massive flaw. Everyone gets paid before the fighter does. The sanctioning bodies, the promoters, the managers. Dana's warning was chilling. He believes that as the business evolves, these old-school promoters will abandon the Ali Act the second it stops benefiting their bank account.
You wind up putting it right back into the sport, and then an even bigger one comes along, and you just signed a rights package for $7.7 billion for the UFC. We're talking about NFL, NBA, MLB type numbers, starting to get into that territory, rights deals that boxing has never had. Do you think it's possible to build a boxing business to that kind of scale?
That's the plan, and you're absolutely right. It's one of my, you know, when I think about the boxing guys, all the boxing guys, all these guys that talk smack and all the dumb stuff that's said, these guys have been in the business for 100 years, and none of them have done anything. I've never seen a business where there's been trillions of dollars in revenue, and at the end of the day, there's nothing there because none of them reinvested in the sport of boxing. Every time they put on an event, it's a going out of business sale. We have reinvested hundreds of millions of dollars into the sport of MMA and into the UFC. And yes, we will do the same with boxing.
And we can't ignore the elephant in the rooms of boxing. While Crawford isn't officially signed long-term, his fight against Canelo was promoted under that umbrella with Turki Alalshik backing the event. This ties Crawford to the new era of boxing, a group with billions of dollars and no patience for the outdated system. The theory circulating behind the scenes is that this is a coordinated stress.
It is just regrettable, not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
So yeah, you got it over with and you immediately came back with a solution, which is going to be a fight for the vacant title. Hamza Shiraz against Christian Mbele, who we just saw on the Canelo Crawford undercard in that great fight against Lester Martinez. And you put Lester Martinez in position to fight the winner.
Absolutely.
You feel like that's an adequate response? Like this is going to be an entertaining thing for the fight fans?
Yes, it's a great fight. And Billy is very entertaining. He comes forward. Hamza Shiraz just had the best fight of his career, knocking out Berlanga dramatically in New York.
Yeah.
And Lester Martinez had an unbelievable fight with Mbili. He's going to fight the winner. So there's great movement. Whenever Canelo is ready, after his surgery, when he's recovered, he's in the mix. And we have other fighters fighting. So it's going to be great activity in that
test. If the biggest star in boxing refuses to pay sanctioning fees and loses nothing, no fans, no popularity, no money, the sanctioning bodies lose all their power. If Zuffa and TKO can stage mega fights without needing
They're money-making schemes at the end of the day. I personally, listen, anybody that's listened to any of my stuff going forward, I think we could do without sanctioning bodies. I think we could all move forward with just having one champion, one per division. I know that people will come up to me and say, well, more opportunities when there's more belts and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, if we get boxing right, opportunities will fall for people. If the WBC played along with their own rules all the time, to the letter, I would probably sit here and have a different opinion, but they don't. They make things up as they go along. For example, the Conor Benn scenario, right? He failed a drug test as per the clean boxing program, which is run by the WBC. The WBC provide Ben with an alternative reason to the one that he gave them, because the one that he gave, if it is true, would open up the WBC to litigation of every single fighter that has ever failed a test and served the ban under the clean boxing program. Conor Benn told them that there was a flaw in the testing process. They said that that's nonsense, so therefore they provided him the excuse of eating too many eggs. Conor Benn never came up with that excuse. That was a WBC reasoning. Also, we've seen this week alone, the WBC 140-pound champion, Subriel Matias. He's failed a drug test. Instead of cancelling an upcoming fight with Dalton Smith, which is coming up in January, he's been allowed to continue because the WBC don't operate strict liability. In 2019, this is an important part of this story. In 2019, a 28-year-old fighter called Maxime Dadyshev died as a result of injuries sustained in a fight with Subriel Matias. This should be investigated massively off the back of the news of him failing a drug test in recent times. Here's the best one, and this has only happened in the last 2 days.